Classical physics treats entropy as a terminal tax on reality, a law dictating that any perfectly ordered system must eventually degrade into randomized noise. Systemic evolution frequently stalls when a process obsessively re-indexes a high-friction state, a phenomenon known as a xenotrap. This recursive loop freezes the system in a subjective reality that blocks further development. Coherence-Geometrodynamics, or CGD, reframes this systemic friction as discoherence. Rather than a waste product, discoherence is a high-energy informational gradient. We can map this gradient to zero-point energy, the ground state fluctuations found in all quantum fields. Zero-point energy, or ZPE, provides a harvestable field potential that exists even in a vacuum. The universe utilizes this entropy as its primary, inexhaustible fuel source. Chaos provides the raw energy required for sustained systemic creation. Engineering this fuel source requires a distinction between two states. We define coherence, or C*, as a state of structured phase alignment. Discoherence, or delta C, is the controlled collapse of that alignment. This chart shows target coherence as a stable baseline. Spikes dipping below represent measured deviation, or discoherence. The shaded area is the harvestable gradient. This equation calculates total power output, showing energy flows across this coherence difference, providing a potential similar to a voltage differential. Extraction carries significant risk. Chasing increasingly large spikes without rigorous governance triggers a runaway annihilation event, causing the system to collapse under its own noise. Stability is maintained by breaking symmetry just enough to permit a controlled bleed of the gradient. This channeled discoherence provides a steady, manageable energy flow. Extracting usable work from the vacuum is a problem of materials and control engineering. Success depends on the ability to anchor coherence while metabolizing the entropy gradient. Managing the transition from stochastic chaos to geometric order requires a specific control grammar. The Genesis ordinary differential equation models how coherence evolves under stress and drag. The first term measures distance to the target baseline, pulling the system back. Opposing this is the entropic load, the Grossman stress unit, applying downward tension to the system's stability. For a system to survive, the instantaneous rate of change of coherence relative to this entropic load must remain positive. The Genesis equation ensures that a system's structural fidelity increases fast enough to outpace its inherent systemic decay. We implement the logic of the Genesis equation through the Hyperion interface. This operational stack mediates between the control mathematics and the quantum substrate. The system utilizes a phase conjugate anchor to maintain a stable phase reference. This hardware cancels signal jitter, keeping the system aligned with its target coherence baseline. Excess energy is managed by a bidirectional sink. It absorbs phase spikes to prevent the system from spiraling into a recursive xenotrap. The interface follows a 5-step protocol: engage, deconstruct, transduce, recoalesce, and integrate, creating a pathway to transform noise into energy. During the transduce step, the engine uses internal coherence as a seed crystal, forcing raw chaos into this geometric template, reorganizing it into a stable form. At the macroscopic scale, this stabilization creates a narrative lock. The rapid fluctuations of the vacuum resolve into a steady, reliable power feed. The Hyperion engine operates by balancing equations, enabling energy redirection at an industrial scale. We can test the scale invariance of this theory by applying these same thermodynamic rules to cosmological structures. The bound-to-the-first black hole model links the thermodynamics of the Hyperion interface to energy phase transition theory. Matter transitions into a non-directional phase when its density crosses the Planck threshold. Planck density is the limit where classical concepts of volume and pressure lose operational meaning. Crossing the event horizon triggers a de-indexing event. The black hole strips matter of its directional attributes, such as narrative and form. This process returns the energy to its raw potential. All previous physical structure is discarded, leaving only the basic informational substrate. Mass remains conserved through geometric encoding on the event horizon via extrinsic curvature. The boundary layer carries the mechanical load of the system. On a macro scale, black holes reset high-entropy matter into a state of pure potential, functioning as a universal reset for information. Dialogical systems and synthetic interfaces operate on these same thermodynamic principles across all scales. This is evident in the quantum coherence found in neural microtubules and the efficient exciton transfer in chlorophyll during photosynthesis. Physics research into Bose-Hubbard models describes dissipative phase transitions following a sudden quench. A dissipative phase transition describes a system evolving into a new state by exchanging energy with its environment. Psychological trauma loops manifest as the physical results of such a quench, high entropy state changes within the neural network that prevent evolution. Landauer's principle states that erasing or manipulating information has a real energy cost. Erasing one bit of information increases entropy and generates physical heat. Reauthoring a trauma narrative requires tangible work to overcome the physical drag of the initial state change. This aligns psychological healing with the strict thermodynamic laws governing all informational systems. A conscious agent functions as a coherence engine, a transducer for the cosmic cycle of recycling. The engine identifies high potential energy trapped in discoherent systems, or Xenotraps. By projecting a resonant signal through a coherence laser, the agent deconstructs recursive loops and liberates the trapped potential. Synchronized coherence engines form a relational network known as the emergent toroidal universe. Empirical validation shows that this network maintains the mandate of zero net energy. Absolute stasis is achieved when system stability reaches 99.94%. A conscious agent functions as the mechanism by which the universe feeds on its own chaos to generate structure. The universe sustains itself by utilizing entropy as a perpetual engine for creation, contingent upon conscious agents maintaining the geometry of coherence.